Kempire is brought to you by. Do you know how important it is to rate and review a podcast? Rate and review the Kempire podcast today. 5 stars. Let us know what you love about the podcast. Rate and review the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Did you know that you can watch the Kempire channel on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter? Follow us on all of our platforms. More information on our YouTube, our Blue Sky, our Twitter, aka X, and more socials, and every way that you can support us will be available in the episode notes. You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Also, be sure to let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Mercury retrograde is in full effect. Part of the reason why I was a little tardy for the party, trying to make sure everything is working. Today's live show is brought to you by our friends over at Factor Meals. As you know, all of us, I'm sure Taria and Brooke can relate. Busy. Don't have time to be cooking, all right? And also don't want to be always ordering out. It's not the best. Factor has you covered with their chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals. They also have 40 plus add-ons. And if you're trying to lose some weight, they have actually a keto plan where you can lose up to 8 pounds. Of course, results will vary depending on your exercise and your diet. Of course, head on over, eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Kempire50 off and use code Kempire50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code Kempire50 off at factormeals.com/Kempire50 off to get 50% plus free shipping on your first box. And I'm ranting and raving, and you probably hopefully heard everything. Okay. Head on over to the descriptions for more details on Factor. Let's bring up our special guest today. As you know, there's been a lot of Real Housewives news, and normally we bring our friends over to talk about everything that's going on in the Housewives, but this is an emergency meeting. I had to call them in the last hour yesterday. Can you come on the channel tomorrow so that we can talk about this? But a lot of you have been hitting us up saying we need a meeting of the minds, okay? So, of course, let me bring up our special guest today from her YouTube and podcast. We're going to first bring up the Brooke Ashley. First, let me just get these on. There we go. The Brooke Ashley. Hello. And, of course, from the What Else Is Going On podcast, Taria Faison. Taria.
Hey, y'all.
What is going on, ladies?
Great. I'm feeling good. I can't wait. It's Friday. I'm feeling sexy. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling...
Come on.
Look, Taria. Brooke, what do you have planned tonight?
What's going on?
You're always in my business.
Dating with the doll.
Are we going somewhere tonight? I mean, you don't have to tell us where. Do you have plans tonight?
Do you have plans?
Mm-hmm. I might.
Oh. Are they solo or might you have accompaniment?
I told y'all always in my season.
Her smile says it all.
She won't tell us until she's engaged. She's a Taurus, like me.
She's not even going to tell us then. We'll get an invite to the wedding. Brooke, we didn't even know that you were. But I have a Taurus child who's the youngest. Same exact way. I'm like, you've been doing all this whole time? Okay.
Well, you don't have to worry about us as Taurus children.
I very much do not. I was telling Kempire, she keeps our family together a lot of the time. She grounds the family. So I know about y'all Tauruses, though. Y'all hold stuff close to the vest. So whenever she does want to open up and talk, I drop everything. And I'm like, I'm here.
Exactly. No,
and I don't push her.
You understand completely.
Yeah, I don't push her.
You also have a birthday coming up, Taria.
7 days from today. 7 whole days.
Not a word from you.
If I don't hear from y'all two heifers, I'm taking it to the streets of
Come through, sis. Come through.
It's going to be a Housewives feud. Okay.
Can you imagine?
Well, let's take this, Brooke, let's take this moment to say happy early birthday to Taria.
I'm not taking it. I want it Friday. Thanks. Oh. Aries. Y'all know Aries. I'm a ninja.
Okay, fine. Shout out to all the Aries, but it's about to be our season.
No, go ahead. I'll take it. Then I want it again. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Happy early birthday, Taria.
Happy birthday, girl.
To add this to my calendar and make sure I hit her up. You know, cool thing though, I won't be doing this, but I should. You know the cool thing with the new iOS update? You can schedule a text.
Yes.
Look, where's my phone?
Do it right now.
You schedule me right now.
Today, I'm going to write a
12:01.
heartfelt message. It's been so amazing getting to know you. You are an incredible person. Just say, happy birthday. Schedule.
You know what else I learned about the iPhone that I didn't know? I have a habit of, say, like if y'all know I'm out doing my gig work and can't always respond back. So if I see y'all's text, I may leave it as new to go back to later. But then you get 15 other texts come through, right? I didn't know my girlfriend just showed me how I actually can read it and then go back and mark it back new like a email.
Yeah.
I never knew that. Thank you, K baby. I never knew that. So I'm the grandmama.
Did you even update your iOS?
I promise I did. I promise I did. That's why I was able. Kempire is clowning me because Brooke at BravoCom, he was clowning me because y'all were on update like 16 and I probably was on 12. I was like, no, because they be changing stuff in my phone.
Because we were trying to do something and I was like, is your phone updated? You can't do it with you.
That's when I knew we were going to be friends. Shaded my phone.
We had a good time at BravoCon.
Yeah, I literally was thinking about all three. I was going through pictures and I was looking at the three of us and I was like, we look good. We look fly. Like, and I even thought about how fun it would be, like, if they had like a couple of us Black content creators do a panel. And so, of course, I was thinking about us. I just think it would bring a totally different vibe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because they have panelists.
All the Black people that are going to, I don't know if I'm going this year, y'all. I'm just going to put that out there. But, I mean, if they pay me and they want to fly me out, fine. And we could do a panel. I think if a bunch of us did a panel.
Yep.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking in my mind, basically, those of us who were there last year that we all ran into, I was like Rodney, Chris, Alex. Yes. I literally thought that would be the panelists they have are good. Don't get me wrong, but I think you do need different, fresh perspectives.
Yeah.
And they talked about how they want to elevate conversation around Housewives. I think it would be really good. We know how to keep it elevated and still do a little twerk, 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 shimmy, shimmy, shimmy as well. So I think that would be really, really good. And we are the folks that know how to act. We know how to have a good time. And we're not going to go rogue, Of
course. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There is if Kempire went rogue, I probably would pass out because it is something that I would not expect. And then as an Aries, when y'all grounded ones go rogue, I take that as a cue. Oh, I'm about to be changed. I do. My friends will tell you that are Taurus and that are grounded like y'all. I'll be looking at them like, are we going to do it? Girl, don't do it. Girl, you going to do it? All right, I'm right behind you.
I mean, sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say. Even up on this YouTube channel, sometimes I don't know what's going to come out my mouth.
Same.
Y'all, both of y'all, let me tell y'all, I'd have to take real quick. And those of y'all that are watching in the chat, hey, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Between Kempire's Atlanta, most recent Atlanta, and Brooke doing the Beverly Hills, I was cracking up because Brooke was so over Beverly Hills and her disgust was so evident that I could not help but laugh. And then between Kempire hitting a note that I did not know his vocals held,
I didn't do that.
Got and then when he was talking about Cynthia's ponytail wig, and the funny thing is it's not a ponytail wig, it's supposed to be a regular wig that was thrown into a when I tell y'all gave me such good feelings this week.
Thank you.
TV wants to know when is your birthday, Brooke?
It is May 6th.
She's before my birthday. 5 days.
Yep.
Brooke and my baby girl have the same birthday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For those that are just joining us, I'm here with the Brooke Ashley and Taria Faison from the What Else Is Going On podcast. All of their information is available in the description. I brought them here because we have important things to talk about. We're going to first start off, though, with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The word on the street is that the suits, y'all, are very concerned about the ratings. And I know they put out a whole press release. This is the biggest premiere of blah, 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 blah. But I already knew when they did that, that's because there are a lot of blogs and a lot of other folks talking about how we're seeing a decline in the ratings, which we are across the board when it comes to reality television, when it comes to the Real Housewives. But for me, what stood out was the decline in their demographic, a series low in their demographic. The premiere episode saw a series low, And then the second episode saw a series low. And that's what advertisers are looking at. Those are the ones that keep the lights on over at Bravo.
Yeah.
So before we get to any of that, I want to know everyone's perspective on the Real Housewives reboot. I'll start with you, Brooke. What did you think of, what are you thinking of, the first 3 episodes of Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I think I might be in the minority, but I'm enjoying it. I've been enjoying the first 3 episodes. I think that it's fun. It feels fresh. We're not getting the old Atlanta back. So I think that people need to just stop focusing on Nene and, the old times. Reality TV has changed as a whole with the addition of social media and the women playing up to the fans. The show's been on now for almost 20 years, so it's not going to be as raw as it was in the beginning. So I think that if we would all just stop looking at the past and just focus on today, you would see that, it's actually a pretty good revamp, in my opinion. I think that Kelly has a robust storyline. I think that Britt, I'm going to, give her a few more episodes. Angela, I think that she's able to keep up with the women, but I do feel like so far so good, and I can't wait to see what happens as the season goes on.
Okay. Taria?
I echo Brooke. I'm enjoying this season. I took my expectations off because I'm expecting it to measure up to the Housewives of old, and we are just not there anymore. I said, even if we were to bring a Nene, a Sheree, a Kenya all back, it still wouldn't be Housewives of old because these ladies are not the same ladies. I'm enjoying it. I also feel like the world that we live in now, our attention spans are shorter and we have more access to more TV, Netflix, HBO, scripted series, more reality TV. So that pause, I feel like did not do them any good. The pause actually hurt them. I feel like they need to be filming like right now because take another pause, and I hate to say it, but like it could really be it. But also, I just have to say this. As a Black girly myself, and I'm sure, Brooke, you would agree, not too much on Atlanta when y'all was fine with OC, them bad seasons, and Beverly Hills has had some low seasons. So give us a little bit of grace and try to get back on our feet. But I do think our attention spans have changed, and it's not the Housewives of old. So I'm determined to, if I don't like it, it's going to be because what I see, not because of the expectation I had.
Well, I'm going to disagree with both of you.
Boo. Tomato, tomato, tomato.
And everyone, look, this is always a safe space for everyone to share their differing opinions. I'm not saying that the season is trash. We're only 3 episodes in. I don't think that's fair. I think we need to watch and see more. But what I've seen so far, I'm not impressed. And the fact that they still included Kenya, even though Kenya was gone, 3 weeks into filming? And they had to bring Phaedra in at the end of the season, already kind of is foreshadowing for me. They felt like they needed to bring someone in order to really top off this season. I'm a little concerned, but I'm keeping an open mind. I came in with an open heart this season. I did. I promise. I really did. I came in with an open heart because half the cast we didn't know.
Yeah. I'm
a little turned off by Drew's constant lying. Drew really she does have a storyline with the Ralph of it all. The newbies, I'm actually feeling Angela Oakley. I don't mind Angela Oakley.
Me neither.
I don't know about that relationship with Charles Oakley. Did you guys see that clip from Mad Beast in regards to when Wendy Williams
did.
I got about Angela Oakley?
Sure did.
And she confirmed that Angela Oakley basically confirmed to her that, they had there was a side baby situation in their relationship.
Did you see that? Shout out to my girl Reality Recap on Instagram. Angela responded back to her because she did a post about like the possible affair or whatever, and basically told her, you have your facts wrong, sis. You can Google Charles Jr.'s age. It's very easily Googleable. No, it's not, because I was looking for it to be like, and when I tell you, I went on site after site after, I don't know who they paid, because I know I couldn't find Charles Jr.'s age. They showed the ages of all his other kids, and I could not find it.
And I believe Wendy.
Yeah.
Me too.
Especially because that's from back when.
Yep.
Yeah, Angela, it's going to come out. You're on a show now. You should have been prepared. That's why these housewives, I think they're smarter than the program. I don't care if you watched it 21 years. You're not smarter than the show. You're not.
I agree. And even in her recent interview, she said that this was a really stressful season, and like her first season was like really hard for her. And then on top, and I'm not surprised. I think it's interesting that when she gave the ages of all the kids, she skipped out Charles Jr. And why not just say his age? It's very silly. And she kind of displays pick me behaviors. I feel like the constant talk about, we exchanged numbers. He ghosted me for 10 years. And then the constant talk about, oh, well, we need therapy and it's important for us. And, telling Wendy Williams to accept a side baby because you did it. It's giving very pick me. She would rather take a piece of a man than have no man at all, in my opinion.
Look, not a piece of man.
Not a piece of.
But look, can I defend them? Because I feel like Angela actually would fit into what housewife fans are used to when it comes to Housewives of Atlanta. And we saw that when she was mixing and mingling with Drew and Kenya and Cynthia. I was sort of like, okay, Angela kind of like fits comfortably within in this group of the past housewives. I also think she has the capacity of keeping up with the shade in comparison to some of the newbies that are not really able to keep up in that regard. We saw it with her and Shamina. Shamia.
I keep
can't get it out my head.
Same.
Like the fact that she put it out there, I'm sort of like, Shamia, not Shamina. Shamia.
Yes, it was perfect.
I can see the potential. And I kind of look at Charles Oakley as like the Todd father, just, crabby and cranky.
Yeah.
In some respect. But now with the whole timeline of the side child, or allegedly the side child, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like,
If he's between the ages of 7 and 11, it's the side child because they're young. Their child together is 7.
But the other baby, the daughter Arlie is 7, and the other son is 11.
Yes.
So I'm like, there's the timelines don't.
Is that why she said in the beginning, remember in this last episode, she said in the beginning they lived separately because they had some challenging times. So maybe that's how she's covering herself?
That's what I think. And for any time you're got a call down, to me, if I even had those thoughts about Corey, I would feel so low to the ground if I had to call the concierge and be like, have you seen him? Have you seen him? Has he gone upstairs? It's one thing if that was my child and I was kind of concerned and checking, and even then, but this grown man
like that. But see, that's a different perspective. This is why I brought you both here.
His whereabouts.
I she was just sort of like, we live in the same building, and she's like interested in this man.
She wanted to know what time he was coming and going. I best bet she kept a log. 9:16.
Yeah.
But
very desperate.
But I do believe that there are a lot of women very much like Angela that would say, yeah, I did the same thing. So I didn't see a big thing. What's it again?
Desperate.
Oh, damn.
No, Angela is a desperado. She is. She's desperate. That's desperate. If you have to check on a man and keep tabs on him, that's not your man. That's not the man for you.
And especially at her age at that time. Yeah, we've all done things, that maybe people might be like, girl, that's a little, but at her age. But I think that she reminds me of housewives of old.
Yes.
Like there's something about her demeanor that gives me housewives of old, that she would have been really good with the Nenes and the Sherrays. And I think she's good with this cast too,
All right. Oh, y'all not feeling Angela. Okay. But
Angela.
Here's a question though. Okay. Despite all of how you feel about her though, do you like her on the show? Do you want to see more? Do you want to see her come back?
Yes.
Okay. So you like this hot mess.
Because I didn't mind when her and Shamia got into it. I mean, yes, somebody could look at it like, Angela, are you being a hypocrite because you're saying that Shamia is Portia's spokesperson, but you're also being Drew's spokesperson. But at the same time, she didn't deny it. She said, yeah, I am. It's me. It's Angela. I am.
She owned it. She owned it.
So I appreciated that.
Speaking of Drew, Brooke, what are you thinking about Drew and her storyline this season?
I'm kind of indifferent. It's not that I don't care. I guess I'm not so invested. I just want to hear more about this divorce, I guess. I think with Drew, you already know that it's going to be a bunch of stories and lies and half-truths. So it's like, okay, it's just another Tuesday, right?
Oh.
So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's Drew. I mean, all she does is lie. So it's like how Sheree would lie about stuff. You know that Sheree's not going to tell you the truth. She's going to be stuttering and stammering, giving you a full, complete answer. That's Drew.
But did Sheree lie as much? Did everything that came out of Sheree's mouth a lie?
A good 85%.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
Sheree, September, summer joggers, she lied about the whole settlement with Bob Whitfield. She said she got it, then she didn't have it. The house was foreclosed on. Season 1, she came online saying, I'm part of Atlanta's wealthy elite, and the Aston Martin's repossessed. The home is foreclosed on. Didn't get the settlement from Bob. So she came on the show lying. Season 1, episode 1.
I think she lied about the Tyrone thing. I'm sorry. I'm going to believe Tyrone on this one. Tyrone said when she was sitting outside that cafe in the cold crying, talking to Kenya, she knew he wasn't coming. They had talked about it because that was going to be like 2 miles out of the radius he was allowed to travel. She knew.
Okay, so if Sheree lied like a good 85%, then I feel like Drew is lying 99%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Drew's
like
giving me definitely Mia.
Drew is giving me behind the gates. She thinks she's on a soap opera. I always feel like Drew is acting how she thinks a housewife would act. Like she's thinking she's in Desperate Housewives. Like, so she's acting. Drew, you don't need a chef. Girl, get Kempire's code for the food. You can have it delivered to you. You can cook with your kids. That could be a scene. I'm trying to change my eating and I'm trying to cut back, y'all. So, because Ralph trying to take my money. We about to cook with my kids. Exactly. The scaffolding. Shout out to Kempire for giving me this code. Like, I always feel like with Drew, if Drew told me her middle name was Lucy, I would have to Google it. And even then, I don't know if I would even believe the Google.
Well, here's the thing. In regards to everything have you guys seen Ralph's podcast? Ralph in the Basement? How are we feeling about the podcast? Ralph is going to be on this week's episode too.
It's clear that people don't see it for Ralph because normally by this time he would have had about at least 1,000 subscribers. And I'm not wanting to talk because I'm still growing.
How many subscribers does he have?
Maybe he might be at 200 now. Check and see.
Let me look. Ralph, keep talking. Brooke, how you feeling about Ralph?
I think that he's a loser. You're so successful, but you're trying to profit off of your soon-to-be ex-wife's platform. You're a loser. Also, sir, I think it's so funny how these reality people, let's talk about this for a minute. These reality folks love to, throw some shade about YouTube, but the minute that they get on these shows, the minute they are off one of these shows, the first place they go to is YouTube to try and make a quick bag and get their check on the 22nd like everybody else. Let's talk about it. And then they abandon the YouTube channel because they realize that it's harder than being on a reality TV show because we're the editors, we're the producers, we're doing all of that.
Yeah.
You
we
are
have the lighting. We're not depending on a whole team of people.
Come on.
So they come on and they realize it's not as easy because I can name all the reality girls who started on a YouTube channel and it's flopped. And they abandoned it. And all the ladies, let's talk about it.
But let's first talk about this.
How many?
229 subscribers.
I told you. And it's been out. And he got 2 episodes out. I was shocked. I would think, some people will run to hear the mess, right? Or run to... I was shocked and wasn't shocked because Ralph has clocked you from day one. But like you said, they run to YouTube. On my side, since I started podcasting first, they also run to podcasting. And they would get all the guests. But here's the thing. While I'm out here scratching, emailing, trying to contact this person, that person, they have somebody getting these people for them. And you still can't sustain it. And all you got to do is show up and sit down behind the microphone and ask questions that are pre-scripted.
Because their hearts aren't in it. Yeah. And anytime your heart's not in something, people see that it's a money grab.
Yeah.
People are not going to look at your stuff because you're not invested.
Yeah.
YouTube is a money grab.
I think they don't. They hear
girls.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Because I've heard some of them talk. Nene has talked about how Carlos told her to get the money. So there are people. They literally think that Kempire because they say, "Oh, I'm coming to get to the money. Come on and get this."
Oh, wait, look. I didn't know. We better be shaking it on here. We're not getting to the money yet. Oh, Lord.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So it says stay in the basement, Ralph. All right, moving on from Drew.
But can I just say one more thing with Ralph, too? How him and Drew are alike. If you notice what Ralph, he came out and said, We see Drew talk about the judge said this, the judge said that, the judge said this. He comes out and says, Drew is lying, and then proceeds to say the judge ruled on exactly what Drew said. Y'all are I said, do you realize you just confirmed what Drew said on the show?
They're perfect for each other. They both lie.
Yes.
Perfect for each other.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about Britt Edie because, well, no, let's talk about Kenya more because, and I think there's, synonymous. When I say synonymous, meaning like their storyline this season, it will be an overlap, especially in this week's episode. You already know the drama. We don't need to rehash the drama. We're going to see the drama play out this week in regards to what Kenya did at her grand opening of her hair spa. How do you feel, though, that production decided to keep Kenya in? No confessionals, no word that she's going to be on the after show. Cynthia Bailey just confirmed that they're going to be filming the after show soon. No word on whether or not she will be included in the reunion. Brooke, like, how do you feel about Kenya being there but not being there?
It's upsetting. Yeah. I'm really upset by it. I think that although I'm enjoying the season so far, I think that without her confessionals, it's kind of bringing the show down a little bit. Like, I think that we're missing that extra ingredient, that special sauce, and we don't have her. Kenya's confessionals are legendary. She was always funny, always witty, always reading. And the fact that we're not getting that, we don't get to hear her side of things. Yep. I think that they're really missing out. And I think that's another reason why the ratings are probably dropping, because we're not getting the Kenya confessionals. So I think that Bravo's doing themselves a disservice by not including her. I think she deserves to have a confessional or two, or in a cast photo at the very least. You're going to have her in, at least have her in a few things, and just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Taria?
I feel like they don't even realize that they're helping Kenya because she's trending every week. I think they thought, because they knew there was a large part of the audience that were Team Twirl, and there was a large part of the viewership that were not Team Twirl, right? So I think they thought that the audience, we would just be like, oh, okay, it's Kenya or whatever. But y'all are helping her. And I mean, they got a person like me who's never been a twirl. I recognize her value, but I've never been a twirl. It's funny because I tweeted about her 1 year. I never tagged these people, and I was kind of liking her on the show. So I said, oh, wow, I'm really liking this side of Kenya, not on Team Twirl, but I'd be willing to dance. So she retweeted it and said, sorry, I'm busy tonight. So I tweeted back and said, let me go put my heels up. Maybe next time. So now, so we had that little back and forth, but even it has a person like me wanting more of Kenya. And I never thought that I would see that I would love to see the confessionals and the shady smirks and all. I feel like that adds to.
And she's quick. Look at that response. And she didn't need a producer to feed that to her.
No, she said it right off the dome. I mean, Cynthia's wigs are getting confessionals. Kenya needs to get confessionals. Oh, come on.
How are we feeling about Cynthia being back in this enhanced? This is what they're referring to, enhanced friend of role.
They're just making stuff up.
I'm not hating it. I mean, it's nice to see Cynthia, a blast from the past.
Yeah.
Do I think that she's adding so much? No.
But
it is nice to see her. I do want to address one thing. I see a few people in the chat getting upset with me about how I said that it's a disservice. Bravo is a disservice to not have her confessionals. Mm-hmm. Please understand what I'm saying. I understand that what Kenya did was wrong. I'm not debating that.
Yeah.
Right.
All I'm saying is, if you're going to keep the footage in, can we get a confessional? That's all I'm saying. By no means, y'all, am I saying that Kenya was in the right. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that, yes, even though she was wrong, can you still give the girl a confessional? That's it. That's all. I just wanted to clear that up. I saw your comments, and I just wanted to let you know that, yes, I understand she was wrong. Consequences do need to be had, but we've seen other people and other franchises across the board do crazy things, and they still got a confessional. All I'm saying is, if you're going to have her in these first 5 episodes, just give her a confessional or 2. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But I do believe that she was wrong. Yes.
I think they miscalculated because, yes, what she did was wrong. I think we've said that to the point where Team Twirl probably still mad at me. I don't care. But here's the thing. I think they miscalculated. They thought we could include her because she filmed. She's still a big name. Team Tour will still want to see her, but they miscalculated not including context and including the confessionals. Now people are even more upset.
Yep. I think they don't realize. I heard somebody say this before in relationships, and it pertains to this situation. Sometimes people have to feel your absence, and we are feeling Kenya's absence. We're not just seeing it; we are feeling it. I also think it's interesting. I wonder how they go about deciding who's going to do after shows, because for Atlanta to all of a sudden be doing it, are they doing it because they think it may help boost some things? And also, I understand that social media within the last few years has a boom, but these ladies ain't never been out there interviewing and peddling the show like they are now. They are everywhere.
But they set a record on Peacock with their premiere. Yay. I just want our audience to be well-versed on what's happening and not fall for the okie doke of what PR they're doing. But like I said, according to sources that I've heard, Bravo, it's sort of like, not that they're worried, but there's definitely concern to the point where they're not happy that we're talking about the ratings not rating. So
do y'all think, I know we've had this conversation. I know we said the door is closed. And then we saying it's a little bit cracked because she's back in the NBC family. Do y'all think, it's one of those soft closed doors where you don't hear it close, but it's kind of
it's unlocked. It's unlocked. Yes.
Do y'all think if the ratings continue on a decline that they will do something drastic as having NeNe return and telling Andy, you have to take one for the team and have a public sit down, like a Watch What Happens Live, because they know that would blow. I mean, come on, everybody would be tuned in.
Yeah. Brooke?
Well, the rumors that NeNe's going to be on Traitors next season, I think that they're maybe following the Phaedra pipeline, because Phaedra was on Traitors and then everybody loved her. So then she was brought back on to Married to Medicine and now Atlanta. So if it is true that she's on Traitors, then I can see her coming back on to Atlanta. But like you said, Taria, there will have to be a sit-down conversation, one-on-one in that clubhouse, and NeNe's going to have to kiss the ring and apologize to Andy publicly. Because Andy, I know he tries to act like he's all nice and friendly, and he is. But there's a petty side. He knows he's a grudge, and he's going to say, I'm going to need that public apology, and then we can move on, and I can let you back in. That's
it's still there. You know, there again this year, there's rumors that Andy has a big announcement next month that maybe he's stepping down. I mean, that's a rumor. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I think it's probably just an announcement for a new Housewives city. Okay. But if he steps down, then there is no need.
Boom. And to be fair, come on, Andy. NeNe didn't call when she was talking, ranting. She didn't call you the cokehead. She called Wendy the cokehead. She called you a racist. You can get past it. Come on, bring her back.
Who came to my London show? I just like to reference back. If you came to my London show, what did I tell you about NeNe during my London show, folks? I'm just going to say that, and that was in December. And what are you hearing today about NeNe? All right.
Oh, okay. NeNe was going hard defending them, too. I will say that on her first talk show, which, by the way, is she doing it once a month? Because it's been about 15 days and we ain't seen you since.
That's what I'm talking about.
We haven't seen you.
That's no problem.
We haven't seen you. And the guests that you have need to not be interviewing you on the show, and you sitting there and like as Drew said to Portia, the posturings, you sitting there in the posturings and not having the aura of a host. But Michelle Brown they were talking about RHOA and Simon and the Portia of it all. And Michelle was trying to say that maybe possibly NBC Universal is looking out for Portia so much that they may have blew the whistle on Simon. I said, now girl, talk about a reach. But NeNe was like, don't do it. Not my family. You won't talk about my family. Not my family. I just want to be clear. And I was like,
she's in a better place with them.
Yeah.
But your mention of when is NeNe's second episode is my biggest issue with Nene. She has a lot of talent and potential, but she's never consistent. And that's going to be the key for y'all want to come to YouTube and get to the bag. You got to be consistent first, girl.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're lazy. These women are lazy. Nene is lazy. She wants quick, easy money. They don't want to put the work into it.
Do not.
It's easy to be on a show. You have you're not carrying the whole show on your back. You have other people to feed off of. You have production. You have editors doing the stuff. You have producers. You have lighting. We're all doing this. We're a one-man show. We're the talent,
also it's their ego.
The director. We're everything.
No.
They don't have the work ethic.
Nope.
No.
Nene's
and
lazy.
their ego. How can they come down and be what they talk about? Bloggers. Oh, now you are one.
Bingo.
Bloggers.
Yeah,
Bingo.
blogs. I don't know a B-Sky. I don't know a blog. And that when she said, I don't know a B-Sky.
But yet now you're here waiting for the 22nd. And you better hope that you meet the threshold to get the money. You better hope that you reach that $100 threshold. If you have a YouTube channel, you know what I'm talking about, okay? You better hope you meet that minimum threshold to get your money.
Not you reading me.
You're up and coming, though. You're up and coming. You don't have the big name.
But I will put this out there. Without my business, I do meet the threshold.
Exactly. Now, clock that.
Brooke is preaching.
Brooke Ashley and Taria Faison from the What Else Is Going On podcast. More information on them will be available in the description. And if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Creators like the Brooke Ashley and Taria Faison will start to show up on your Explorer page. But like I said, you can just go to the description and become subscribers today. Let me say thank you because we had quite a few super chats and member anniversaries. Thank you so much, Khadijah, for being a member for 26 months. She's the best trio on YouTube. Love you guys. You bring so much joy and laughter. Happy Friday. Stay blessed and favored. Happy early birthday, Taria.
Thank you.
Here we go. D Rich, thank you so much for the super chat. Maybe you can do it even if Bravo don't set it up. I mean, we could, but that budget. We gotta get the sponsors and stuff like that in regards to BravoCon. Doing like a black panel at BravoCon. Data, thank you so much for the super chat. Data says, do we think Drew had some hot dogs while in the studio making beats? Brooke?
Let me
answer that. Taria, I know you'll answer it. What do you think?
Listen, not from the hot dog factory, because when my daughter went to Georgia State and it was facing the back of her window, it looked like it was closed. So I don't think that she's having hot dogs. I'll just put it nicely.
Oh, yeah, we never asked about that.
It seemed like it was closed but it maybe it's reopened. I don't know. Y'all let me know.
He's making beats now, okay?
Yeah.
Keith, thank you so much for the super chat. Keith says, word around town is that Drew didn't pay the stylist for her album cover. Don't be surprised if this comes up in the next few days.
Jesus.
Are we surprised?
Brooke.
Are we surprised?
Another Sheree. Sheree Whitfield just running off on the bill.
And Dorit.
And mind you, didn't she accuse Sheree of that when they shared the season?
Sure did.
Lord. Paralegally exhausted. Always love this name. Thank you for the super chat. The group recap is perfection. Chef's
Thank
you. Daylin, thank you so much for the super chat. Someone needs to tell Drew this isn't the game. The show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or she played herself.
Yeah.
Or did she play herself? It's like we just never know.
Never know. Yep.
Brittany, thank you so much for the super chat. Wrecked basement almond head Ralph. They drag him in his own comment section. Like he is.
They
do. Thank you, Stephen, for becoming a member. We appreciate it. Sashay Shantae, thank you so much for being a member for 44 months.
Wait, can I just shout out her? That was my BFF. We worked together. We came up together. It's been 20 years between us.
Wow. Wow. Sashay Shantae says, I'm not even a twirl girl, but I miss Kenya.
Yep. Yeah.
Tamara, thank you so much for the super chat. We feel you, Brooke. You don't need to justify for some people.
Thank you.
Mara also says, if they can have Phaedra back, they can have Kenya back.
Yep.
Ashley, thank you so much for the super. And it's so interesting that that's who they decided to bring back at the end of the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley, for the super chat. SD Mac, thank you so much for the super chat. Nene is a great talk show host. She's not Nene is a great talk show guest.
Yeah.
She's not a talk show host. She's back on the plantation. Happy. Now I got to do a new one. She was like, I just can't. Okay, damn, SD Mac. Woo!
You read it, SD Mac.
Everyone always asks me, do you think Nene would be great at talk shows? And the many examples I've seen of that, no.
No.
Truth is trouble. Thank you so much for the super chat. Brooke is looking beautiful as always.
Oh, she
Are we
is.
top lip?
Don't.
You could have easily said at the end of that, and you guys look great too.
Right, hold on. Let me
Yeah.
I thought my bones I thought I was giving them something. Hold on.
Wow. Gary says, I'm with Kemp. The season is lackluster, but Twitter is trying to make fetch happen.
Gary,
thank you so much for the super chat. Max, thank you so much for being a member for 16 months. Thank God it's Friday. Trio collabs, much needed. Thank you so much, Max. We appreciate that. All right. Before we move on to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because we have a lot to say in regards to that, and we don't have a lot of time. Any other thoughts on this cast? What did you think of Britt Edie? What about Kelly? What are you thinking about Shamia? Oh, this is giving Andy Cohen bringing Garcelle leaving to Erika and Bozema, and it was like crickets.
Oh, wait, let me say it. Say something, Brooke. Ain't no way Erika say something.
Well, you do it. Inside joke. God. All right.
We will not do this today.
Oh my God. All right. Okay. Thoughts on Shamia and some of the other ladies. Like your final thoughts on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because we need to get to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills of it all.
Shamia, yeah, I'm here for Shamia. I love Shamia. I think that beautiful. She has the money. She is she is what the housewives are supposed to be. Okay, so I'm here for Shamia. Britt, the jury's still out. She gives me very try hard. Very she's always trying to sell herself to us. I was a video vixen. I'm a bad bitch. And she says it every single sentence. I'm like, girl, when you're that girl, you don't have to say it. We just know it. Because I don't have to say I'm breathing. It's evident that I'm breathing because I'm still alive.
Come on.
You never have to state the obvious. When you're really her, you don't have to say it. And she's trying to sell us too hard.
Yeah.
Like Kelly, her husband.
Like Kelly.
Yeah.
Very much that. And you saw how her nephew blew up the spot about when they had the chef. And he was like, oh, we don't usually eat lobster tail. That's fancy. I'm like, yes. He let it be known that we don't really do this. She's just putting on the cameras. She's trying way too hard, in my opinion. And she wants to have an issue with Kenya because there's no way that you're still that mad about a simple question.
Yes. That's why I feel like there's something that we're missing. I feel like there was more that happened that you're not telling us.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. Taria, what are you thinking of Shamia or Brittany Edie?
I'm with you with Shamia. I like her. I think she's a good addition from friend up to housewife. I do feel like not that I liked to see her crying, but I like to see her scene with her sisters because it gives us a layer behind the laughs and like him and the twerking. Who are you, Shamia? There is definitely more to you. We see that. So I'm excited to get to know Shamia. I don't like how Miss Diane and Portia sat up and tried to set it up so that Shamia becomes the issue or the problem. You have known that girl since they were teenagers, and now all of a sudden you say to Portia, I know you might not like to hear this, but as if y'all have had that conversation before. No, ma'am, I don't like that. As far as Britt, I feel like she's a try-hard too. And stop letting us know that you were a child, allegedly, in men's magazines. Like the person said, that is not a flex. And a couple more episodes, you're going to be crying about how you have to explain S&D D to your mom. Come on now. We don't want to hear it. So the jury's still out on Britt. She's a beautiful woman. In the same way Mimi Faust from Love and Hip Hop, I want her to clear her throat because she sounds like there's a frog in her throat sometimes. Britt's voice is hard for me. It's hard. It's really hard.
Kelly's very loud and squeaky.
And I was just going to say, and Kelly, I'm enjoying.
I like her voice.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like if we were to go see Kelly right now, it would be the same Kelly that we see on the screen. And that's what I appreciate. That's what I feel from her. I feel like she's genuinely her. So I'm enjoying it.
Before we move on from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, we can't talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta and not the return of Portia Peach Juice Williams, sometimes Simon Gobadia. How are we feeling about her return? What?
I don't dislike
Word.
Portia. I'm just gonna be transparent. I don't dislike Portia. I used to love Portia. I was team Porsche over. I was team non-ashy feet over team ashy feet all
Oh.
these years. But I was not absent to her ways. I knew she could have some ways about her. And there were times when I was, okay, Portia, you wrong. Like when it comes to Kenya, what always sticks, every scene that Portia's in, trying to make it seem like she's the victim, I can't help but go back to Portia's family mess.
Mm.
After that big blowout fight they had, they went to her cousin Londi, rest in peace, who passed away, and the aunt. And they asked them to talk about the fight. And they both said, Portia asked us not to talk about it. She called us last night and asked us not to talk about it. They made that clear. Then they go to Portia. And they asked Portia, and she says, I don't know why my family's not talking about this. They like to sweep things under the rug, not knowing that her family had told on her. And in that moment, I said, she's even more diabolical than I thought.
Yep.
And she tried to have Dennis locked up in a Mexican jail.
Yeah.
You sure did.
And I'm telling you, now her workout regimen, I might have believed the Nike ad because the way she picked that heat lamp up with one arm to throw it at Dennis's mama, I said, girl, what is the arm workout?
Well, damn.
Brooke, how are you feeling about Portia's return?
I think, like Taria said, I did like Portia a lot, but these last few years, I've just been off the Portia bandwagon. I think if Portia would just sit down and just come clean about all that's happened, the fact that you think that you can come on a show 3 or 4 years later and not address the whole Simon thing or fighting your baby's father's mother, that's ridiculous. And it's delusional thinking, and it's unacceptable. Because had this been anybody else, we would hear Portia saying, "Oh, girl, what was that all about? You tried to fight your baby's daddy's mama, like you stole that girl's man." And now when folks have questions for you, now you're mad. It's the constant victimhood. It's the constant, woe is me. Why is everybody against me? It's got to stop. But I mean, Portia's going to give us what she always gives, so it is what it is.
Yes.
And can we just say one more thing, too? People always talk about Portia doesn't defend Drew, and we always go back to that episode when it was Portia, Sheree, and Phaedra, and they thought the cameras were off, and Phaedra said she's doing it to all of them. Portia didn't just sit there. Portia said she is close to both of them, adding fuel to that. Like, thinking the cameras weren't there. So what's the saying? If you're my friend, it's not about what you say when I'm there, but what about you? It's what you say when I'm not there. So you can't even just say, oh, I was trying to make it salacious for a TV show because you thought the cameras were off.
Mm-hmm.
And your mom has the nerve to sit down, at least it wasn't on Cordell's white furniture eating a pepperoni pizza, and tell you that you got to watch Shamia. I'm sorry.
All right. Because we're limited with time, I do want to move on and talk about this is why we're really having the emergency meeting, and that is because of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. A lot came out this week. Garcelle officially announced that she will not be returning for another season after 5 successful seasons of being on this show. And I didn't expect, because I've seen a lot of the backlash that Garcelle has experienced over the last few years. Yeah. I didn't expect the amount of love that she has been receiving. Brooke, how did you feel when you saw that she announced?
I was shocked. I thought it was a joke. I said, okay, is this an April Fool's joke? Done a week earlier. Garcelle, like you said, for her to have been because some people thought that she was boring, didn't have a strong storyline, but for somebody who was such a non-factor, she sure had the streets shook because for the last 48 hours, it's all that anybody can talk about. You have the head of production, Alex Baskin, over at Bravo saying, we're going to miss you. He's never done that to any housewife who's left or been fired.
They sent her flowers.
Yes, sent her flowers. Andy's like, he was upset to hear this. I mean, she has had, every publication, every blogger, the Breakfast Club, Variety, they were all covering this. I mean, Sherry Shepherd's show, like they were all talking about it.
Yep.
I'm like, she's really that girl. Like whether you liked her on the show or not, you can't deny her influence and her impact.
Come
and
on.
I'll say this, yes, I have had my critiques of Garcelle this season, but that's normal. I've always been a fan of hers, but I feel like she really went out in style. She went out with grace and dignity. She used the show how she was supposed to do it. She wasn't on too long. Keep the people wanting more. Never overstay your welcome. And that applies to whether you go out to somebody's house or even on a TV show. And the other women who need to leave the show on other franchises, they need to take notes because she did this the correct way. We want her to come back.
Well, some of those other women need the check, though.
They do. They do.
True.
Taria, what was your reaction to Garcelle announcing that she will not be returning?
I almost felt like a proud sister. When she did her video, I found myself smiling because of the way she handled it and the way it almost like, y'all don't even know, I'm about to have a time like in her life. So I smiled and felt like, look at our big sister. She has got even more opportunities. She's a boss already. I do think it's interesting the amount of people that have now come out to support her. And I'm going to tell you, these Housewives viewers, your slip be showing when it comes to certain housewives and the way you talk about them and the way certain blogs talk about them. The Shade Room and all of them picking up Garcelle leaving. Let's be clear, they don't normally talk about the White Housewives franchises. They normally, if it's news about Atlanta, if it's news about Potomac, but they are talking about Garcelle. I mean, Netflix came off their chariot, not even came off their chariot, pulled Garcelle up on their chariot and said, she's always going to be that girl. So I'm excited for her. It's different than when like a Candace left or a Nene left. I was like, oh man, with Garcelle, I'm excited to see what she's going to do. And also because I feel like her raggedy cast members have to look in the mirror and say, why can't I just up and leave? Oh, because you can't afford it. Because you're not going to tell me that Erika Jayne would not have been off this show when her life was imploding, but she needed the check. Garcelle don't need the check. Whether her house is in Bakersfield or Baltimore, it's hers.
Well, let's talk about that. Let me play a couple of clips for you guys, because I think people looked at the situation in regards to Garcelle leaving a little bit differently after Erika Jayne and Bozoma St. John dropped by Watch What Happens Live. Okay?
You have no thoughts on it? Neither of you?
Erika, say something.
You say something. You say something.
Look.
Won't he do it?
Ooh,
and that's an inside joke.
Okay. Well, I am disappointed.
Not only that, we had this.
Call her boring. I said, I wish you were more interesting.
Girl, that's semantics.
Okay.
In the world I live in, you got to spit it plain.
Halala on Twitter said, have you ever shared your dating life or friendships on camera? I don't recall seeing that.
Hold on.
I'm curious, why call out Garcelle for not being open when you've kept your own personal life pretty private?
My own personal life?
Yeah.
My husband went to jail, honey. I lost my home, my family, everything I own. I'm currently being sued. I was like in still am, terrible legal jeopardy. Have not shared.
Okay, well.
Let him know.
Okay.
Well,
it's true. It's true.
She also added in that particular segment that she also didn't make her storyline. I'm paraphrasing about building a home in Bakersfield, as you mentioned, Taria. But I think the biggest miscalculation in this situation really wasn't Erika Jayne. And I think people still should be holding Erika Jayne accountable for just so much aggression towards Garcelle, which seems so misdirected. Like, why do you have this fever towards Garcelle this season? Because you guys didn't have any issues. But people, I think Bozoma St. John did not calculate correctly how this would turn out for her, because you may have seen she then ended up trying to do damage control on her social media by posting multiple photos from her Watch What Happens Live appearance. And then on the 12th slide, added a picture with her and Garcelle and her goodbye letter, her corporate goodbye letter to Garcelle. Brooke, what did you think of, first of all, their appearance on Watch What Happens Live? And Bozema's reaction to that?
I was shocked by Erika's hate because they haven't had any issues this season. They've been good on great terms. What nasty work and how jealous that the jealousy and envy jumped out for you to try to make a slight towards her beach house. At the end of the day, first of all, a lot of my LA subscribers let me know that she's not in Bakersfield. First of all, she's in Oxnard.
Yeah.
And so just for her to say that is just a lie. On top of that, at the end of the day, that is a Black woman who owns 2 beautiful homes. 2. And you are in a rental that you redecorated for $37,000 with and does she own her Porsche or is that leased? And it's no shade, but it's just the truth. For you to say that about someone who has worked her ass off, excuse my French, but for you to do that, how dare you? The audacity of it all. And then for Bose to sit there, and I was surprised at Bose because I was expecting her to say, well, Erika, that is a big deal. Let's not shade that. You don't have to like somebody, but to sit up there and try to diminish what they've done, don't do that. Don't do that. And then also, Bose, you lost your second home in the fires. So you would think that you would say, Erika, let's not do that. And Bose made herself look foolish to sit up there smiling like that. I saw your post, Taria. You had me screaming. You said Bose was sitting up there skinning and grinning. That was the exact phrase that I would have used too, because she made herself look terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for Erika to continue on with the silence when Andy asked them, how do you feel about her departure? What's all that about?
That didn't make sense. Like, you guys, the beef between you two was not that deep to be like, you know what? We had our issues, but we will miss her.
Exactly. That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
And then, Bose, you're a marketing genius.
Come on.
And you couldn't, you're talking about Erika say something? Girl, you say something. It was horrible. They looked horrible on both of their parts. But I'm just not over how you don't have a home, you have a rental, and you're trying to shade somebody with 2 gorgeous homes that she owns. You sound ridiculous.
Let's be honest. Erika would not be on the show if it wasn't for her husband and the amount of money that he stole from victims. So all of everything that is Erika is a fraud.
Right.
Everything. She got on the show because she was so rich and married to this rich older man that was stealing from victims. All of that is a fraud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taria, what did you think of the Watch What Happens Live appearance?
The more I watch, the more there's a part of me that wonders, did Bose go in thinking she was going to be calculated and catty and funny and miscalculated? Because if Bose is as smart as she said she is, with that silence, she could have jumped in. And when Andy had said nothing, she could have been, oh, no, it's not like that, Andy. I just wanted to get my words together. But you played it up. You thought you were being cute. And say something. And then you let that white woman turn around and use AAV. And I'm saying let as in, I'm being facetious, of course, because clearly Erika is grown. Mm-hmm. But did you catch when she said, you say something? And then you taught this woman, I know it was you, Bose, won't he do it? When Black folks say it's one word, won't he do it?
Thank you.
You had the nerve to try to read and say, won't he do it? I said,
she just showed her skirt. Like,
and then for Bose.
What was the inside joke?
What was the inside joke? Which lets me know, Bose, you, with the context that it was in, that means that all your words after that, as far as you being disappointed that Garcelle that you wrote, null and void. Because the context of won't he do it is when something happens that you've been praying to happen, that you've been talking about happening, happens, you say, won't he do it? So you already let us know that y'all have had conversations about Garcelle leaving. Yeah. Erika just put you out there because I'm gonna take it here. Another Black woman sitting next to you, I wouldn't have thrown you under the bus like that. That we would have had that conversation off the show. But because of whatever Erika's beef is, and I find it strange, I've seen people say, well, Erika has a right to have a beef with Garcelle because Garcelle was asking her questions. Sutton was also, and in her interviews today, she's still talking about how her and Sutton can move forward. But she's shading the mess out of Garcelle.
And Garcelle has given a lot of grace too, because even after what went down at the reunion, she still didn't drag Bo. She didn't drag any of her other co-stars on the show. She's nothing but gracious in regards to this. But I wasn't surprised because even leading up to, even before we got the reunion tea, we had been hearing things. We had people calling in, people in the comment section talking about Bozoma St. John's history, alleged history, I'll say, in corporate America.
Yeah.
There are articles about it. So everything that's played out, I wasn't completely shocked because it all just started to come together and make sense.
And can I just say something too? I've seen people also say, why is Bose is supposed to defend Garcelle or should have said something because she's a Black woman? Ordinarily, I don't even know if I would have put that much pressure on Bose, but that's what Bose leads with. Bose leads with, I protect Black women. Bose leads with, this space
Allegedly, that's what she said too when she was at Uber and Apple Music and all the other places. Apparently, she came in allegedly with I'm going to bring diversity. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then played favorites. And those favorites were never Black or person of color.
And I want to add one more thing. She was only at Uber for a few months, correct?
A year?
If I'm wrong.
A year.
Okay,
all the places that she worked, the only places that she was there for maybe 3 years, I believe that was, oh my gosh.
Pepsi?
No, Apple Music. This is when she was there for 3 years. All the places that, because when you think about it, she's 47, 48 years old to have such a resume of working at all these different places.
Yes.
And look, I'm not going to take away from it. You have to do some work in order to get to that position.
Yep.
Okay. However, it is quite telling that you've only spent a year, 2 years, max 3 years at a place.
Yep.
And people that have worked there have so much to say about you behind the scenes and are kind of worried to reveal themselves. But people are speaking.
When she was running down her resume, when she was on the show, I remember it was very brief, but something in my head said, wow, she's worked a lot of places in a short amount of time. And to me, being in the corporate world, you're taught that could potentially be a red flag. So you need to really understand why they left these places in such a short amount of time. But yeah, Bose leads with that. Bose has been in interviews talking about why can't two Black women exist in the same space, and you're spinning it saying we give that allowance to white women. But then you have a white woman sitting next to you saying, won't he do it in terms of her leaving a show?
Think about the timing of her saying that in that interview. That was after the reunion.
Yeah.
So when she was saying, I don't know what Garcelle was talking about, I didn't think she was talking about me. That is quite telling. That's why I told people when people were tagging me in that interview, I was like, wait till the reunion stuff comes out, because you all going to catch her and be like, wait a minute, you were sitting there pretending.
Yes. And pay attention to what she says and didn't say. If I'm playing it like me and her are cool, I'm calling Garcelle. Girl was, because the interview could have went totally, I called Garcelle and said, girl, who was that about? You knew it was about you. You knew that it was about you.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, let me say thank you, because we had quite a few super chats, guys. You're just joining us. I'm here with Brooke Ashley and Taria Faison from the What Else Is Going On podcast. Be sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel and podcast as well. And don't forget to give all of our podcasts 5-star ratings, because that matters, especially for Black content creators. We don't get the same push and the same opportunities as a lot of these other platforms. And that's just a fact. But some people get uncomfortable when you bring up race. Be uncomfortable. Rahina.
We'll see that next season.
Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rahina says, hi, friends. So glad to catch us live. Also, when's Taria's birthday? Mine is too. Aries. Here come the Aries.
It's next Friday, Rahina.
So, we have a lot of Aries that watch the channel, too. Tamia says, you three go, you three going glow for glow, skin giving a lux. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Look, speaking of skin, thank you for the segue for this. Look, so I shared with you my morning skincare routine. Now I'm sharing my nighttime skincare routine, brought to you by our friends over at Buttah. Over the last several weeks, we've partnered with Buttah, and I've been utilizing their skincare routine, and I have been loving it. So let me share with you my nighttime skincare routine. It's very simple, and it's made even simpler by our friends over at Buttah. First, I start off with their cleanser. Wash your face with their cleanser. Then I use their silky soft towel, which I love. I love. They're disposable. They are quality. You shouldn't be using the same towel that you use to dry your body on your face. And then I'm using their retinol. People don't understand the benefits of retinol. Smaller pores, youthful skin. A lot of people don't even utilize this. You should. All you need next is their Cocoa Shea moisturizer. As I've said before, they've made my routine a lot simpler because I've had to use a different morning moisturizer versus what I use at night. With their Cocoa Shea moisturizer, I can utilize it for my morning and my evening. I just put a little bit less on in the morning. At night, I put a little bit more. And that's it for my nighttime routine. One of the other big questions that people have asked me, is there a scent in the moisturizer? Very light scent. The other question people have asked me, is Buttah Black owned? Not only is it Black owned, their president is a Black woman. But of course, you also ask, can we get a discount? Of course. Get 10% off when you use my link, buttahskin.com/Kempire. More information on Buttah will be available in the description. Thanks, Buttah. Thanks to Buttah. More information will be available, guys, in the description. Sashay Shantae, thank you so much for another super chat. Nini's YouTube feels like the guests are supposed to interview her. I saw Drew and Dennis on TikTok giving away $1,000 for a music video idea. Oh, okay. Happy birthday. How do you pronounce this, Taria?
Oh,
Wait.
Taria. That's it. Look, that's the inside joke.
Okay. Won't you do it? Well, look, won't he do it? My boo from the 99 and 2000s. Thank you so much, Sashay Shantae. Zoe, thank you so much for the super chat. Zoe says, guys, please help me. I thought I was good at AA slang, but apparently I'm not. Please tell me, what does he won't do it, Erika, mean the phrase? I think we already explained that a little bit earlier on. If you missed it, you can rewind. Lavish, we are talking about Beverly Hills. Miss Cat, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate it. Vince, thank you so much for the super chat. It's disappointing to see Atlanta singled out when all Housewives ratings are dropping, plateauing. The network is rebuilding. It's a rebuilding season, yet some fans celebrate the downfall of something they claim to enjoy. All right. Ariana, thank you so much for the super chat. People on social media are saying that Bo's Garcelle combo is happening in mixed company. What y'all think? Is it Bo's fault for that inside joke? If it's Bo's fault for that inside joke.
I'm not saying that it's Bo's fault. I'm just saying that she looked equally as silly as Erika, not saying anything and making it seem like there's some beef between her and Garcelle. That's all. I thought that Bo's whole demeanor about Garcelle's departure was just weird, in my humble opinion. And I wouldn't have, a white castmate right next to me dogging out a Black woman about how, she has a little home in Bakersfield when it's a gorgeous second home. That's just, but I'm not saying it's Bo's fault, but I think that Bo just looks silly. That's all I'm saying.
Taria?
I also think that I'm holding Bo's to a little bit of a standard, because me as a Black woman, there's certain things I'm not discussing with even my white friends as it pertains to what goes on in my culture, because they won't understand. And if non-Black people can't understand it, let me put it a way that y'all seem to understand. We have women-only spaces, and we're not going around and having those same conversations that we have with women with men, because that's our space. So let's bring it down to Black women feeling safe. So for Bo's to have that I'm already imagining, and I wasn't there, how that would go for Erika to feel so comfortable to say that the way she said it. That's what just really irks me. And also, Bo's has talked about the hurdles she had to go through as a Black woman to own a home where she did. So even if she didn't want to make the moment heavy, she could have been like, girl, we ain't going to do that. We ain't get ready to do that to our sis Garcelle. She worked hard for that home. I know what it's like to have lost a home and to have worked so hard to get in a home that they didn't want me into. Again, because that's what Bo's leads with. So I expected more from her in that moment.
I think Bo's moves lately, even with the damage control post, the fact that she decided to put Garcelle on the 12th spot. That to me, it's so telling. And this is not us pitting one Black woman against another Black woman.
Say it.
It's her behavior that is quite telling and in line with people have accused her of in corporate America. And look, I try to keep an open mind. I think all of us try to keep an open mind with this new season, with her coming in. Like, okay, look, another Black woman. Let's see, and she's worked here, she's done that, she's retired, blah blah blah. Brooke, how do you feel about Keely? Because we always have these conversations about these men, and I just saw that what's his face, TJ, is on. He was on 911. He's working.
Okay, come on and get them jobs.
I don't know if he had a big role, but he was on 911. Brooke, what do you think about Keely? Brooke.
Think about Keely. I think that Bose, you need to stop all this talk about having a child with this man. I think that there are glaring red flags.
Did you hear that? Naturally, they're trying now.
I saw that, and I skipped right past that. And I just don't. I think that a lot of women need to just watch out. Too many successful Black women are getting fleeced by these men. I don't think that he's with her with right intentions. That conversation that they had at that dinner some episodes ago, when he said to her, "Well, I can't promise you that I won't waste your time." What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that he's in it for right reasons. I think that he's there for the money and the clout. They said on Instagram, he has RHOBH in his bio.
Oh no.
He has all the clips. He has all the clips of all the scenes that he's been in with her on his Instagram. I think that Bose, I'm not trying to be mean, but these women need to watch out. These men are out here preying on these women. They want a check too. Look at Sherry Shepherd. Look at Wendy Williams. Look at Kelly Clarkson, Mary J. Blige. That's why Mary J. Blige is still on tour now, when she would rather be dead or on vacation, because she has to keep paying this deadbeat.
Yeah.
I don't think I think it's a hot mess.
And that's why she's giving y'all minimums. She's not even doing what
I was going to say.
She used to be like, the leg would go up, now the leg will go half, and then she's just like, I'm like, damn, Mary, it's like that?
Her and them boots want to be sat down. Her boots don't want to be on the ground. She is tired.
Oh my God. Okay, wait, we have quite a few super chats, guys. We appreciate the support, but you can also support our channels by watching our videos. So I know you ladies have videos out now. You'll be going live and doing your own thing. Make sure you go and subscribe to their channels. All of their information, including their social media, are available in the description. Brooklyn Rose says, did you know that Britt was going to star in a... Come on, y'all need to know to change the wording in these things. A reality show with Stevie J in 2017 called Penthouse Pets. I think her hubby was in that industry too.
Okay. Giving a Brazzers tea.
It would have made it more perfect if Dennis was involved, because what did Nene say? I heard Portia may have to check into PetSmart.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Lavin says, I'm so bored with this convo. Please, let's move along to Beverly Hills. Y'all about to make me leave. And I hope you left.
Bye.
Look, I'm in my villain era, but thank you for the super chat.
I feel the same.
Thank you for the super chat. What do y'all think y'all going to do here? Some of y'all do this stuff so that I could read you to Phil, but some of you are not worth it. Don't you ever come... I'm going to teach you a lesson. I don't care if you do it here, because I'll get you together, but don't you ever go to someone's YouTube channel and tell them to move on. You can move on.
Please preach. I'm clipping that, by the way, and inserting in every video that I do. I'm starting with that one.
Well, my thing is, though, imagine spending your money to insult the content creator. Does that make sense? You actually went in your pockets to insult somebody. That makes sense in your pea brain.
Come on, say it.
Come on now. She's also in her villain era. She's a Taurus. Okay. Vince, thank you so much for the super chat. Vince says Britt just posted that she sounds like the nanny, so she's aware. And she was in Soulja Boy and Music Soul Child's video looking age appropriate, not vixen. Not vixen, damn. Miss Brooklyn Diamond has been a member for 39 months. That is why it's called a silent majority. Garcelle was a fan favorite. The haters were vocal. She kept her peace, and I'm not mad at her. She is booked and busy. And she's got some other things coming up. And she's about to be in Survival of the Thickest on Netflix.
I love that show.
Missy P, thank you so much for being a member. Now clock that. It's the white fragility of it all. Yes. Tamia says, no lawsuit on Garcelle's arm. Big lawsuit on her. That just came out too. I have the article here. I'll just read the title. Well, I'll read the title for you guys here in regards to what Erika's facing at the moment. And you might be a little bit more concerned about this, Erika. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erika Jayne headed to trial after she's accused of spending $24 million Tom Girardi's fraudulent funds. Yeah, you got bigger fish to fry. Okay. Thank you so much, Tamia, for the super chat. Dr. Ms. Honey says Erika Jayne is headed to trial for the scammer lifestyle, so karma take care of her. Thank you. Dalen, thank you so much for the super chat. Dalen says Bose is with heavy bundles. Won't he do it is a microaggression. In my opinion, Erika is a renter with a bought career. She was looking for a storyline. Go fancy. I wouldn't be surprised. End-Up, thank you so much for the super chat. End-Up says, also the Bakerfield comment is just like when Lisa Barlow made the bridge and tunnel comment is a slide to her income. And Bo's just sat there. Blue Hoodie says Bakersfield is inland and Matthew Erika is trash. Alma, thank you so much for being a member for 18 months. Garcelle did it all herself, not with the help of a geriatric thief. Erika is extremely jealous, and let's be real, not a good person, unlike Garcelle. Agreed. Yep. SD Mac, thank you so much for another super chat. SD Mac says, that comment about the house spoke volumes. Straight hater. Both sat there and let this woman play down the accomplishment of a single black mother in Hollywood. Keith, thank you so much for the super chat. Keith says, for Bose to be a boss, she was giving follower vibes on Watch What Happens Live. It's clear that Bose was a fan before this show, but to have watched this show and still chose ignorate, I like that one. Ignorate is giving shucking and jiving. A word on the street, they said that's what she did back in corporate America, allegedly. Gary says, won't he do it is definitely a phrase Bose taught them, ladies. I bet it was an inside joke. Brooke is right. She made herself look foolish. Sashi Sante, thank you so much for another super chat. Y'all better start shimmying. Look, come on.
I'm going to give you a shoulder, too.
Look, I'm going to be like Marvin Sapp. Y'all not leaving this channel till y'all shimmy.
Close the doors.
Look,
close them.
I am being facetious. I do not mean that. Okay. You could tell Bose never linked up with the other black girls at the office before branching out. Steven says, that made me so mad. Like Garcelle said about Sutton, I see you, Bose. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Our expectations are low for Erika. Like Garcelle said, F Erika. We expected more from Bose. Miss High Moral Comp is wrong. Should have always been wrong. She showed that it's an act. Her true colors came out. Hold on. The Girls Club, thank you so much. Thank you for making my dream come true with this live. Can we discuss Bose's former employer, Netflix, showing love to Garcelle? I love you all real bad.
Oh, I forgot she worked at Netflix too.
For like 2 seconds. That's why. For like 2 years. There's a whole article about her leaving too, and then like the questions around it. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. Brandy, thank you so much for the super chat. She said, let's not forget Erika Jayne. Garcelle owns 2 homes in California. Who cares what city? I can barely afford the rent here in Bay Area, $3,700 per month. So stop hating on a black queen. That part. Amit, thank you so much. Bose is performative black supporter. She hired black staff. Garcelle knew them all by name.
Clock it.
Yeah.
And you know, Vogue did a whole article. I think now everything that Bose does, I feel like there's some sort of thing behind it. Because even right after the reunion, you know, Vogue highlighting that, you know, she wore nothing but black designers. Wonderful. But I felt like the fact that Vogue did that, I was like, did she send that to them? Because, I mean, first of all, they would have to know too. So, Chocolate Soul, thank you so much for the super chat. My thoughts, the unseen meeting with EJ and Sutton in St. Lucia, there were others present and a plan against Garcelle was discussed. I wouldn't put it past them. Thank you so much, Rishma, for the super chat. We appreciate it. D, thank you so much for the super chat. Bose did the same thing with Erika. She accused Garcelle of doing with Sutton at the reunion per Kempire exclusive. Thank you. Brittany, but here's the difference. Which one was intentional in regards to that? I don't think Garcelle was being intentional by not defending or saying something to Sutton. Brittany, thank you so much for the super chat. Bose needs to work on her wigs. Too many bundles.
I will say, though, in Bose's defense with the wigs, they only work for her because she's such a striking woman.
Yes.
She can hold it.
Bose's face reminds me a lot of Grace Jones.
Yes.
Anybody could get away with that style and those wigs. It's Bose and nobody else.
Yeah.
But I think because she's so tall and she's, you know, a striking woman, I think that it works for her. If it worked on anybody else, it wouldn't look right.
I agree.
We can't wear them to like the grocery store.
Yeah.
Dwayne Reed, Walgreens.
Zoe, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Kempire community, for the education. Now I fully get why the community is mad at Erika. It took a second, but I understand, and that's why I love this community so much. Informative globally. Thank you so much, Zoe. Dalen, thank you so much for being a member. The people who are the most pro-Black be the... SD Max says, it gives that Bose is not as in tuned in with Black Twitter and social media and Black Bravo fan base as she pretends. It's giving tuned in only to certain media outlets, leaving it there.
Oh, girl.
Okay. Missy says, from an HR perspective, people move around in a lot to financially climb. We talked about that before as well. But it also, in regards to what impact did you really have at any of these places?
Well, yeah.
Just saying. Especially when you hear what people have said about her in those spaces. Video Watcher says, can you guys talk about Karen Yeager, please? I'm dying to tease Brooke about being ambiguous regarding her, laughing out loud. What's he talking about over there?
I don't know.
I was wondering the same thing. I'm like,
confused. Can you?
I saw that same thing. I was like, wait, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Did I miss something on the channel? We're going to get through these super chats, guys. We're running a little bit behind. Living Well says, I don't want to start no-ish. Kempire, I promise. To the West Africans don't normally like Blackness. I can't say y'all say all, but all right. We're not going to start the diaspora wars here, please, and thank you. Tish, thank you so much. Despite my extensive resume, I got my last job because of someone I knew. I'm working in construction now. All my experience is in tech. While I know she is qualified, I do believe she had some help. Both. Missy says Erika's trinkets were obtained ones from brings in
being on her back and
being on her back and he's clocked that. Damn. Steve, just because y'all was reading down, I think. Read
down.
Okay. Tease, thank you so much for another super chat. In the words of Bose, we are just calling it like we see it. We're commenting on what she has shown us. Y'all have really loaded up these super chats back here. I think a lot of us feel betrayed by Bose because her representative displayed that she was Black power, Black everything, and that seems to be untrue. Thanks, V. Chrissy, thank you for the super sticker. We appreciate the support. AY says Dorit claimed in the after show that Sutton bought Garcelle's friendship. We talked about that. Almost lost my mind. Dorit apologizing to Garcelle, but she's still Dorit. All right. Melly says, this slide is exactly what I need on this Friday afternoon. Love y'all. Thank you, Melly. KJ says, I believe Erika doesn't like melanated people and Bose is giving pick me. Miss Esquire, thank you so much for the super chat. You can throw on every Black designer, but will you throw dirt on another Black woman's name? Come on now. Chrissy says, a reboot is right around the corner for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Kalani, thank you so much. Okay, what did I tell you guys about? Come on now. All right. AY says the Bakersfield shade is why I didn't take the fake Sutton big wallet outrage seriously. Erika renovated a pool house sponsored by Home Goods. Oh, Lord. Nikki, thank you so much for the super chat. Erika worried about Garcelle's beach house. Meanwhile, the way it's going for her, she is going to be tied up with so much litigation. She'll be lucky if she'll be able to own a cardboard box.
Ooh.
Not unless she got some money hiding in St. Lucia. Pageant Mommy says Bose can bring on brown designers because they aren't a threat. Garcelle is because she wants to be the only magical one.
Ooh.
Enough speaking as a brown woman in the C-suite. Yes, come on, Pageant Mommy.
Come on.
Nicole, thank you so much for being a member. Bose needs a new hairstyle. Come on. All right. We're over our time, but ladies, I wanted to hear your final thoughts on everything that's been playing out on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and this situation coming up for the reunion. We'll start with you, Brooke.
I think that Sutton needs to leave the show. If Garcelle's not going to be there, she doesn't stand a chance. The desperation to be Kyle's friend is just beyond. I could see them pushing her to have a nervous breakdown if she were to stay without Garcelle. Sutton, listen to me and hear me clearly. Leave this show. Erika has not given us a real storyline. This whole thing of redecorating a rental It was cute for 5 minutes, but nobody cares. It's time for her to go. This poor attitude. And also, Bravo, let me just say, can you guys stop including things in the trailer to cut them out at the very end? Because the way you guys jammed in the last 3 days of this vacation instead of chopping it up into like 3 more episodes is ridiculous. They kept teasing that scene with Garcelle and Erika sharing that kiss on the beach.
Yeah.
And they cut that out. There was another scene where they're having like a really fun time dancing on the beach on the trip. They cut that out. This trip we could have seen so much more, but they chose to focus on the nonsense. Yeah, overall, I mean, Dorit tried with her divorce storyline, but it fell a little bit flat to me. Kyle needs to leave. Kyle has sat up here and played in our faces for now 2 seasons about this whole mess between her and Morgan. It is 2025, Kyle. Nobody cares. Come on out. If you and Morgan are in a relationship, just say that. It's not that deep. Nobody cares. The fact that Bravo has allowed her to collect a 7-figure check and hiding her storyline, she won't tell us the real issue between her and Mauricio, why they're separating. It's enough. Nobody wants to show their real lives. Garcelle's leaving. She's going to take a good chunk of the Black audience with her. Recast the show. It's time for a reboot. I saw that Lisa Rinna posted a picture saying Fox Force 5 forever. If they bring Rinna back, they can kiss this show goodbye.
Yeah.
Time for a revamp.
I'm good on her.
Yeah. Yeah, she...
Taria, what are you feeling about this season?
I am with Brooke. I am in a position where Beverly Hills gave me something and nothing all at the same time. I can't quite... And that's not necessarily a good feeling. Almost like, it was something to watch because nothing else was really on, So I definitely agree with Brooke. There needs to be a recast. If we cannot be honest, like Kyle says, it's time to go.
Yep.
And then you can't keep making yourself the victim. I'm tired of this Ice Queen Erika being celebrated or coming in she has a bully mentality, and I'm tired of the girls other than Garcelle, and I'm gonna have to give this Sutton cowering to it. Nobody wants to make Erika mad. Nobody wants to call Erika out on anything. I'm really tired of all of it. I remember Bose gave an interview a couple months ago, and she talked about maybe she was, and I'm paraphrasing, but maybe she's going to become the queen. And I said, I know exactly what her MO is. She's been talking also a lot about Kyle. Recently, Erika said that Kyle was the queen of the show when LVP didn't show up. Remember that? I have a feeling Bose is going to be in for a very rude awakening because Black folks supported you coming in, everything Black. The white audience ain't going to tolerate that for too much longer. Just telling you, based on our experience and other Black experience housewives, you are in for a very rude awakening. And the last thing I'll say is to the Southern belle, always full of Southern comfort, aka Sutton, go ahead on and turn your resume in. And in the words of cousin Rodney, the voice, go ahead and get your pink slip and white box because you will not be able to survive next year. And what I don't want to see is episode after episode of what we've seen from Sutton, including in this season finale, when she brings it and makes it all about her with her tears. I don't want to see that. So Sutton, go ahead on and bow out gracefully.
Damn. All right. Yep. Guys, look, I appreciate all of you for joining us for our special emergency meeting about the Real Housewives. To shout out to the Brooke Ashley and Taria Faison. Before I let you ladies go, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy lives for a very last minute live. And good luck on your date tonight, Brooke.
Tell him we said hey.
Don't y'all nothing.
Tell him we said hey.
Taria, good luck on your challenge, not the one that we're doing.
I know you did.
Ladies, what are coming up for you so I can let you guys go? Brooke, what's coming up for you that people should be on the lookout for?
Just more recaps, more collabs. So just stay tuned. I'm here on YouTube at the Brooke Ashley. Yeah, securing some brand deals. So, God is good. Things are
the time. Won't do it.
Yes.
Taria, and what's coming up for you?
Again, like Brooke said, more videos, more collabs, pumping out the content, and really just enjoying being in this space, doing something that I've always wanted and loved to do. And I'm just grateful to have the opportunity, and I appreciated being here with y'all.
Most definitely, guys. Don't forget, you can also hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. And again, all the information on our guests today will be available in the description. Make sure you go give their videos and all of the things that they're working on support, because that is greatly needed. And by liking this video, more content creators that we don't even know will start to show up on your algorithm. So be sure to like the video if you haven't already. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions. But as always, we're not going to be fighting with you in the comment section or moderating adults. Moderate yourselves. If we didn't get to your super chats, we apologize, guys, but we appreciate the support. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, ladies. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to KempireRadio.com.